Welcome back to brand new chapter, that is coordinate geometry. Children, yes, you guessed it correctly. You have read this chapter in class 9th also, and there you found it the most interesting and the most easiest chapter. Children, in this chapter I will be adding few more concepts and few more formulae. But before adding few things to this chapter, I would like to recall your previous class things. Children, you have read that if you want to locate the position of a point in a plane, then you require two mutually perpendicular lines. So, these are the two mutually perpendicular lines which are known as x-axis and y-axis. This is your origin. If you want to locate the position of this point, then you require two mutually perpendicular lines which are known as x-axis and y-axis. Here these are positive and these are negative ones. And you have also read that this first quadrant is of plus and plus sign. What is this plus and plus sign? The position of P is what? The distance from x-axis and the perpendicular distance from x-axis and perpendicular distance from y-axis. So the perpendicular distance from x-axis is this and perpendicular distance from y-axis is this. So let's suppose this distance is your x and this distance is your y. So the position of this point over here is x comma y. X comma y is also known as ordered pair and it is internationally accepted. Then whenever you are going to represent the position of a point in a plane, then you always be writing the position of the x-axis first. That means the distance of x-axis should be taken first and then you will be taking the distance from y-axis. So it is always written in x comma y and this is known as ordered pair. You have also read that your distance of x-axis is known as, that means the x coordinate is known as abscissa and your y coordinate is known as ordinate. This thing you have read in class 9. In addition with these things, you have also read that first quadrant is of positive and positive because here x-axis is positive and y-axis is also positive. Here x-axis is negative and y-axis is positive. Children, whenever you are reading a coordinate, then remember that always you are writing the x coordinate first. So I will be reading for this quadrant I will be reading my x-axis first. So x-axis is negative here, y-axis again negative. Here your x-axis is positive and y-axis is negative. Okay. So these are the signs of the coordinates, or I can say the signs of the abscissa and the ordinates. Now children, this complete chapter is about the measurement. Geometry means the measurement. So we will be measuring the distance of the point from certain point or the distance of point from origin. Either we have to measure the distance between 2 points or the distance from origin. So we will be measuring the distance of point from origin or with respect to some another point also. So children, this chapter revolves around just 3 formulae and those formulas are distance formula, secondly you have section formula, and thirdly you have area of triangle formula. Yes, of course you have read in your lower classes that area of a right angle triangle is half base into height. But if base and height is not given to you and if the coordinates of the vertices are given to you, then how you can find out the area of triangle? So we will be reading this formula in coordinate geometry. Now let's start with our distance formula. So first of all, before telling you the distance formula, I would like to introduce you a very simple concept which you all know. Say these are the 2 points and say this is your 0 kilometers, or I can say this is your starting or initial point, and if a boy moves from here to here, say this is 7 kilometer apart, then if I asked you find out the distance traveled by a boy, then what are you doing? You are doing, that means AB is equal to 7 minus 0. If I say your initial point is 15 kilometers and the boy is traveling say 19 kilometers till here. So if I say now you find out the distance traveled by the boy. So obviously you will be finding it as 19 minus 15, which is equal to 4 kilometers. That means the boy has traveled from here to here as 4 kilometers. The same concept I will be applying over here, but see how we are going to do. Let's take a point first of all, P. Say this is x comma y, and if I want to find out the distance from the origin, your origin is 0 comma 0. So I told you whenever you want to find out the distance, you have to draw the perpendicular distance from x and y axis. So let's suppose this is your perpendicular which you have dropped on x axis. Let's say this is the coordinate of point P, which means this x is the distance. X is the distance from x axis and this distance is your y axis. Now if this is your right angle triangle, you can easily apply Pythagoras theorem here. If you want to find out this distance, which is say OP, and say this point is A, then what you are going to write? By Pythagoras theorem you can write it as OP square is equal to OA square plus AP square. Simply I can write OA square plus AP square equal to OP square. Now what is this OA? This point which is on x axis, it is x comma 0, and this is the point which is having x comma y. Okay, so OA square means you have to find out this distance. So distance will be x minus 0 whole square plus AP. AP distance is what? X minus x, which is 0, minus y minus 0, which is y square. Whole square is there, so I have put whole square. So this is the value of OP square. If I want to find out just OP, then I have to put root x minus 0 will be x and this will be x square plus 0 minus y. Minus y whole square will be plus y square, because when your power is even, this will convert into positive. So this will be x square plus y square. So if you are finding the distance of a point from origin, then simply you write this square plus this square. Let's suppose this is 4 comma 3, and if I want to find out my distance OP, so simply I can write OP is equal to under root what? 4 square, that is 16, plus this square which is 9, which gives me root 25, that is 5. That means this distance OP is 5 meter or 5 unit, whatever unit you are taking it. Okay, so this is your distance formula if you are finding out the position of a point or the distance of a point from origin. Now let's see if you are finding the position, the distance between 2 points where it is not located at origin. The second point is not located at origin, but some other place. Let's see. Let's suppose 2 points are located like this. This is your A, this is your B. Let this be x2 and y2, and this be your x1 and y1. If you want to find out the distance between these 2 points, then you need to put perpendicular. You need to perpendicular put here. Now this is not a right angle triangle, so I need to put a perpendicular here also. Now a right angle triangle is formed. Now if I want to calculate the length of AB, then I'll apply Pythagoras theorem here. So it will be AB square equal to, let it be O, so equal to OA square plus OB square. Now children, this x1 means here, this is your distance x1. What does this mean? This complete is your y2. Up till here it is y1. So the leftover part is y2 minus y1. Okay, so this is your y2 minus y1. Okay, now what about this distance? From origin till here it is x1, and from here to here, say from here to here, it is your x2. So what is from this is your x2 comma y2. That means this point from here to here, it is your x2. The point is located over here, so I am finding the distance from x-axis from the origin to here. So this is x2. So what is the leftover part? This is your x2 minus x1, or I can say x1 minus x2, one and the same thing, x1 minus x2. So here I can say what is my OA? OA is y2 minus y1 whole square plus OB is what? x1 minus x2 whole square, and this is AB square. If you want to find out AB, then it will be under root, I can say it like this, x1 minus x2 whole square plus, since this is in whole square, so you can change their orders also to remember it. So this is y1 minus y2 whole square. So this is your distance formula, which you are going to use everywhere where the distance is asked between 2 points. So this is the important formula which you are getting to find out the distance between 2 points. Okay, let's come to section formula. Children, section formula is only applied when 2 points are divided by another point, then only we will be applying section formula. Let this point P divides this line AB into AP and PB in the ratio M1 and M2. These are the ratio in which point P divides line AB. So whenever a point divides a given line, then only we are going to apply section formula. This is for sure. Now the derivation is not in your syllabus. You directly remember the formula, and how the formula is coming, that I am telling you. This section formula actually gives me the coordinate of this point which is dividing this line AB. That means the coordinate of this point, which can be represented as x3 y3. That means if this P has coordinate x3 y3 and say this A has x1 y1 coordinate and this has x2 y2 coordinate, then the section formula is used only when the ratio is given, and if you want to find out the coordinate of the point which is dividing the given line. So here the formula for this will be like this. If you are taking M1 over here, then you will be, now see children, here it is x coordinate. So first I will be taking only the things for x. M1 if I have taken, then I will not be taking x1, I will be taking x2. Plus if I am taking M2, then I will be taking x1 whole upon the ratio, the sum of the ratio. So this is your x coordinate which the point P will have. For y3, you will write down it as M1 you have taken, so you will not take y1, you will be taking it as y2, plus M2 y1 whole upon M1 plus M2. So this is your section formula. Easy to remember. You just take M1, with it you take x2. 1 cannot be written together, so 1 and 2, 2 and 1. Here also 1 and 2, 2 and 1. Children, this is just your x. This is representing your distance from x-axis. So here I have included only x points and here I have included only y points. So what do you have to do? M1 x2 plus M2 x1 upon sum of the ratio. This is y coordinate, so M1 y2 plus M2 y1 upon M1 plus M2. So this is the formula which is known as section formula, and yes, in boards you are getting the questions based on section formula. Now you come to area of triangle. Children, whenever 3 vertices are given, say x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3 are given, and you need to calculate the area of triangle, then simply you have to remember it like this. Make it as half, and then you write x1, make a bracket, plus x2, again make a bracket, plus x3, again make a bracket, and close the bracket. Fine. Now you have taken x1, so you write down y1, y2, y3 over here. If you have taken x1, now you will not be taking y1, but you will move from here to here. So you will be writing y2 minus y3. Now you have taken x2, so you will not be taking y2, but you have already reached here, so you will be moving in the same direction. The direction which you are following is the same everywhere. So you are already here, so you will be moving from y3 to y1. So I will be writing it as y3 minus y1. Now it is x3 over here, so I will not be taking y3, and I am already here, so I will be moving like this, y1 minus y2. So this is the formula for finding the area of triangle. And since area cannot be negative, so this is completely taken into mod value. Mod means if you are getting a negative value, then also you have to write it as positive, because area cannot be negative. Okay. Then third is your collinearity. Children, you know that collinearity means the points which lies on the same line. These are the collinear points. That means if the points are collinear, that means lying on the same line, then we cannot form a triangle. Triangle is formed by non-collinear points. If say these two points are lying on the same line, but this third point is not lying here, then only I can frame a triangle. If you want to find out or you want to prove whether the points are collinear or not, then you will be writing all the values over here. But since area of triangle, that means triangle is not formed in collinear points. So in place of area of triangle, you will be writing it as 0. 0 equal to half of x1 y2 minus and the complete thing. So, or I can say, if you want to prove whether the points are collinear or not, then if this complete gives me answer as 0, then I can say area of triangle equal to 0. That means the points are collinear. It means triangle is not forming. So these are some of the formula. This is the formula for distance. This is from origin. This is the formula when we have the points at different places. Then section formula. This is the section formula. And area of triangle, which is this. So this complete chapter revolves around just these three formulae. You remember these formulae, and in the next video we are going to do the questions based on these formulae.